Hi there and welcome to Lorena's Labyrinth. My name's Anna Pirelli. The comments that you see here are my views, beliefs, opinions, and sometimes they are not even my fully formed views, beliefs, and opinions. However, they are my understandings. Please do retain an open mind and reflect on any of the content and your comfort levels. If your views differ, please feel free to leave a comment. Also remember, it is possible to disagree in respectful ways. My way is not necessarily your way and vice versa. You might also find that some of the content on this playlist in regard to spiritual or universal laws, it resonates with you, meaning it feels right to you, while other laws may not feel right or they may not feel comfortable. If this is the case, the information is either not right for you or it is not right for you right now, and it might never be right for you at any given time. It really doesn't matter. As an earthy and practical person, I can put my hand up with all honesty and say that I have at different times had the same feelings about some of the content in here. And with some of them, I still have a level of skepticism within my viewpoints, but I choose to retain an open mind about the things that I don't fully understand for a few reasons. Firstly, because I believe it would be supreme arrogance to think that we all know all of the answers while we have a body. And because what is right for one of us is not necessarily right or suitable for all of us, and I choose to respect the differences. Please do leave your opinions, beliefs. Feel free to argue the points in a respectful way with any of the content on the slides and even my interpretations. And if you feel that you can add clarity around some of the content, we would all love to see it. Thank you. For now, though, let's explore the laws.
All creation is governed by law. The principles that operate in the outer universe, discoverable by scientists, are called natural laws. But there are subtler laws that rule the hidden spiritual planes and the inner realm of consciousness. Contained within these laws, or conditions, is the true nature of matter. Knowledge of these laws has an effect upon the mental urges. Mind is the builder. Stay in full mindfulness of the application of universal law as related to self and to others, and know that in love all life is given, in love all things move. In giving one attains, in giving one acquires. In giving, love becomes the fulfillment of desire, guided and directed in the ways that bring the more perfect knowledge of self as related to the universal, all-powerful, all-guiding, all divine influence in life. Love is life. When we go back, merge with the God source, in some infinitesimal but profound way, we expand the mind of God. Our higher self always points the best and most perfect way, and it is ours to listen and choose or reject what we hear. It does not blame, but patiently tries again to show the perfect way, the loving way. All of creation pushes forth. We are ever becoming. Identity ever remains. Universal Law number 77. The Law of Rebirth. Each life is an assuming of ancient obligations, a recovery of old relations, an opportunity for the paying of old indebtedness, a chance to make restitution in progress, an awakening of deep-seated qualities, a recognition of old friends and enemies, the solution of revolting injustices, and the explanation of that which conditions the man and makes him what he is. This law, when understood, will do much to solve the problems of sex and marriage. It will create a person who treads more carefully on the path of life.
So what an interesting passage this one is. So, just to clarify, when we're talking about rebirth, we are in fact talking about reincarnation. And I do see these paragraphs as offering an explanation for the process of reincarnation and the purpose and function for each life, if that's a reasonable kind of description. I hang my head as I say this. So it's like the playing out of the karma that's been incurred during the previous lifetime. It's a balancing. So every life, the way I see this law saying is that every time we're reborn, it's a balancing or a rebalance, the spiritual scales of justice, so to speak. For this balancing to occur, if we've got unresolved or unfinished business with people from the past life, then we get opportunities to meet them in the current life. And this is, my understanding, is designed to expand our soul growth, our awareness, and not just about balance. So within this context, I can say, yes, it helps solve the problems of sex and marriage, but not in the way that it's explained here, because it doesn't really offer an explanation. Okay, it just says it will solve the problems of sex and marriage. Yeah, well, maybe. Okay, so my interpretation of this is, when we're walking the path in our earthly life, we will meet people along our journey, and we're kind of like, I know that person, my soul knows that person, even if we're spiritual or not, even if we are what is called awake to our psychic gifts. Because I certainly know, before I consciously recognised and embraced my gifts, yes, I felt that from time to time. We'd meet a person and it'd be like, I just know this person, we just click, we just get on. There is all of that. Now, this is because there is that soul connection. Now, where a soul connection is concerned, actually, it's generally such a comfortable relationship that you can communicate without actually speaking. Now, all relationships can evolve to that level. You can meet a new friend and develop that capacity to communicate with a look or a glance or a touch or whatever. But what defines a soulmate is that when you meet them, you already have that communication skill available to the pair of them. That would be a way that I would describe it. But anyway, where we're going here, because I'm going to try and keep it brief, is that just because we've got this soulmate connection with the person, and I've got to put out there, all soulmates don't have to be sexual or intimate relationships. They can be friendships, they can be mentors and teachers and all the rest of it. There just is this kind of unconditional acceptance of each other. And the other thing too is, just because we have a soul connection with a person doesn't mean that as a human being they're this beautiful, great person that we actually need to connect with and live alongside throughout this lifetime, because we recognize them from a past life. Okay, a lot of the time, so I'm kind of diverting here, a lot of the time why we reconnect with people, if we're talking about this spiritual balancing and the karmic stuff, is actually to recognize them and let them go and move on. And part of that means recognizing that we know that person, that we've got that connection with them, and then recognizing or establishing. So it can play out two ways with this. I want to be clear. It's not you've got to let them go. It can be an opportunity to recommence a relationship, be that a friendship or a romantic partnership, and where, as time prevails, you start to identify, is this relationship healthy, is it unhealthy? Because you don't know, because there's that veil thing, whether or not or what that other person's path is. Now, their path for this current lifetime, when you reconnect, might be that if they were a horrible person in the past life, that they're going to be a nice person in this one, and that whatever unfinished business you had in the past life, you're going to finish it off. So, they might come into your life, I'm going to leave the door open here, they might come into your life so that you can actually build this beautiful, healthy, happy relationship, right? But on the other hand, it might be that they just turn up because it's your journey to recognize once the relationship goes into an unhealthy stage, and to be able to say, you know what, I love you, but I also respect myself, and I'm going to wish you well, you know what I mean? And there becomes that ending without acrimony, so that people can move on in healthy ways. That's a way, of balancing the scales, and also addressing the fact that you're not incurring karma for past lives. Because my understanding, and I'm just saying this again, my understanding is that this need for reconnection in the current life or potentially future is because we have unfinished business. That unfinished business is where one person is perhaps pining for the other one. And you hear a lot of this about twin flames and that kind of stuff, where they just can't let go. It becomes almost obsessive. So the life path would indicate, just recognizing it is what it is, accept and let go, trust the process. If that person is meant to be in your life, they're going to remain there, and this is why there's different types of, I'm going to use the word soulmate, okay, because that's kind of an umbrella term. If we talk about soulmate as being a spiritual connection between people, there's many different types. There's the balance partners that come in to help stabilize you, I guess. They bring an opposing, if you're too emotional, they come in and they're very grounded and practical. That would be a balance partner. Then it could be the divine partner. Then you've obviously got your twin mate, and then you've got the soulmate, as I described with the unfinished business. That one's actually called a karmic, if I remember, karmic relationship. So the relevance within all of this is to do, with me mentioning this, is talking about the different types of soulmate connections here that you can have throughout the process of rebirth. So many people make the mistake that if they've got this capacity to communicate telepathically or without words with a person, and they have that inexplicable connection, the little bubble of love and that kind of stuff, a lot of people mistake that is, this is the one for me. I've got to be with this person now for the rest of my life because this is my soulmate, it's my twin flame, it's whatever. And because I've got this great connection, I actually need to jump between the sheets with them, and we need to go forth and procreate with, great passion. I'm, of course, being a bit facetious here, but basically that's where we're going with this. So what this law is actually saying, when people actually recognize and understand that you can have a soulmate connection with a wide variety of people, including intimate and romantic partners, that then you don't need to confuse lust with love, is where I'm going, I guess. And I wanted to point out, because obviously I'm a bit of an old duck now, and I've had a bit of life experience behind me. And I just want to make the point, the first time I had what is called a soulmate connection, and I actually think it was my twin flame, I'm pretty convinced it was not for the long term, but it was up there as probably the most beautiful relationship, if not the most beautiful intimate partnered relationship I've had in this lifetime. I thought that I would never ever be able to have that kind of relationship with anybody else. The thing is, though, that once those gifts are open, once we learn to communicate in that way, non-verbally and telepathically with a person, it seems to influence any other relationships we have after that. So I can tell you from my personal experience, yes, absolutely, you can, once it's opened up, it will continue to remain open. And just because that relationship comes to an end doesn't mean that you need to hang on to it, because while you hang on to it, you actually deny yourself new loving opportunities with people that are prepared to commit to you. But I might do a video on twin flames and soulmates at some point in time. But anyway, there you go. Law of Rebirth. It is about balancing out karma. It's about understanding relationships. And I forgot to mention soul packs. I'll talk about that in another video, because that will be interesting as well. If you want to know about that stuff, make sure you put a comment down, because when I see the comments, this is what actually promotes me to do new content. And while I'm not getting a lot of comments, I'm kind of just going on my own hunch, intuitive, and following this business of being professional and responsible with the information I put up on here. But the bottom line is, I actually would love to get back into this kind of stuff, talking about people connections. That's what I love. I love people. Anyway, I'm going to leave you to put up your comments. If you've got experiences with soulmate, or if you've got a better understanding of this and want to share it, or even if you don't have a better understanding, if you just want to share what you think or believe to be true, pop your comments up. Anyway, for now, I'm going to say love you, leave you, have a beautiful day, catch you on the next one. Bye-bye for now.